Welcome to Walking in Torah, a place for women who love the Messiah and are learning what it means to walk as he walked. Women who believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of the Bible. If you're curious, searching, or simply longing for a deeper understanding of Scripture, this is a place where you belong. Walking in Torah is more than a podcast. It's also a growing online home for women, offering Bible-based studies, articles, and practical resources designed to help you live out your faith with intention and faithfulness. Whether you're just beginning this journey or have been walking it for some time, my prayer is that you'll find encouragement, clarity, and truth here. I'm your hostess, Constance Smith, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's open the Word and walk it out together. I want to talk about something deeply meaningful part of my walk with the Father. Meeting him early in the morning. This is a routine I began many years ago. I started getting up long before the sun, before the chickens, before the household stirred, and I would begin my day with the Word and with the Father. And honestly, it's become one of my favorite times of the day. I set up my coffee maker the night before so that just as I'm waking up, it finishes brewing. And then the first thing that greets me in the morning is that wonderful smell of fresh coffee. I grab a cup, I grab my Bible, and I settle into my recliner, usually with one or two of my dogs curled up at my feet, and I just dive into the Word. Now, if you live in a busy household, you know silence is rare. Especially if you're on a homestead with chickens and roosters. Once everyone wakes up, the day fills quickly with noises and needs and responsibilities. And for myself, and for many believers, the most meaningful time with God happens before all of that begins. Early in the morning, while the house is still quiet. And Scripture actually speaks about this pattern, this routine, not as a command, but as something wise. From the earliest pages of the Bible, morning is presented as a time set apart for meeting with God. David writes, "Adonai, in the morning you will hear my voice. In the morning I lay my needs before you and wait expectantly." That's in Psalm 5. I love that phrase, wait expectantly. Morning isn't just convenient. It is a deliberate offering. It's the first attention of the day, the first affection of the day. And even Yeshua, Jesus himself, modeled this pattern for us. The Gospels show him rising early to pray while it was still dark, before the crowds and the demands pressed in. In Mark chapter 1 it says, "Very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Yeshua got up, left, and went away to a lonely spot and stayed there praying." Think about that. This wasn't because his ministry wasn't important. It was because communion with the Father came first. Even Yeshua, knowing everything he had to face, chose quiet before the activity of the day. And that reveals something important. Spiritual clarity precedes daily responsibility. When we begin the day with prayer and scriptures, it anchors our hearts before the world starts making demands. Instead of reacting, we can receive direction first. The scripture tells us in Psalm 119, "Your word is a lamp for my foot and a light on my path." And when that light comes early in the day, it shapes everything that follows. There's also a humility in rising early to meet with the Father. The scriptures connect early seeking with an earnest desire. In Isaiah chapter 26, he writes, "My soul desires you at night. My spirit in me seeks you at dawn. For when your judgments are here on earth, the people in the world learn what righteousness is." And in Proverbs 8 it says, "I love those who love me, and those who seek me will find me." So early mornings aren't about discipline for just the sake of discipline. They're about attentiveness to the Father, about intentionality of spending time with him. And for parents and homemakers, this time is a rare gift. Before the kids wake up, before your spouse needs you, before you do chores on the homestead like around here, there's space and time to listen instead of respond. Prayer is less interrupted. The scriptures are read more slowly, and your heart gets shaped before it's tested with the trials of the day. It becomes a well you draw from all day long. In Proverbs 16 it says, "If you entrust all you do to Adonai, your plans will achieve success." Now I want to say something important here. Scripture never presents early mornings, early rising, as a measure of righteousness. This is not about earning favor. This is not about comparing yourself to someone else or being pressured to do something like this, because God honors faithfulness in every season, even seasons of exhaustion. In Psalm 103 it says, "Just as a father has compassion on his children, Adonai has compassion on those who fear him, for he understands how we're made. He remembers that we are dust." He knows your limitations, and he knows what season you're living in, and his grace covers all of it. But when early mornings are possible, they offer something uniquely formative to your day. They also quietly set an example. Your children may not hear you praying, but they will feel the fruit, the steadiness in your walk, the gentleness in your nature, and discernment with how you go about the day. Scripture says in Deuteronomy 6, "These words which I am ordering you today are to be on your heart, and you are to teach them carefully to your children. You are to talk about them when you sit at home, when you're traveling on the road, when you lie down, and when you get up." Faith is lived before it's taught. Morning prayer doesn't remove the difficulties that you're going to face throughout the day, but it does prepare us to face them. Morning scripture doesn't cancel out the responsibilities that we're going to have to tackle throughout the day, but it does bring order to them. So this isn't some sort of rule, but it is an invitation to give the Father the first moments of the day, not the leftovers. To listen to him before you speak to anyone else. To receive from him before you have to give of yourself. And to be rooted in his word and in his spirit before being stretched by the challenges of the day. Whether your morning is long or short, simple or elaborate, the heart posture matters more than the hour. God meets those who seek him. In Jeremiah 29 it says, "When you seek me, you will find me, provided you seek for me wholeheartedly." And that's really what walking in Torah is all about. Quiet faithfulness, unseen moments, but visible fruit. Rising early isn't about escaping the day. It's about entering it grounded in the Word, led by the Spirit, and walking with the Father through every hour of it. Thank you for walking in Torah with me today. May the Lord give us humble hearts, listening ears, and the courage to worship him in truth. If this episode encouraged you, I invite you to visit walkingintorah.com and consider sharing this podcast with someone who may be walking this path too. Shalom, my friends.